Have you ever felt an inexplicable tension in the air when you walk into a room, or sensed that some people seem to dislike you without any clear reason? Perhaps you've noticed that the most talented and extraordinary individuals often face the harshest criticism. You may have experienced those uncomfortable glances, overheard whispers behind your back, or felt the shift in energy as soon as you arrive. If you're a person who stands out in intelligence, kindness, or possesses unique abilities, you might find yourself becoming a target of negativity. But why does this happen? The truth is, some people will never appreciate you because your presence unsettles their inner darkness. Your distinct energy, the very essence of who you are, shines a light that disrupts their unresolved issues and insecurities. If you identify as a chosen one, this video will unveil the hidden reasons why people may harbor resentment toward you. It goes beyond mere jealousy or misunderstandings. It delves much deeper into the human psyche and spiritual dynamics. Understanding haters. Before diving into the reasons, it's crucial to understand the nature of those who project negativity. A hater is someone who discredits, belittles, or minimizes your achievements, regardless of what you do. Even if you do nothing at all, they will find something negative to say. This type of person is often driven by jealousy and disdain. Your failure brings them more satisfaction than their own success. For them, everything is a zero-sum game, where there is only scarcity and limitation. In human interactions, you will frequently encounter people whose inner turmoil manifests as negativity. Deep fears, insecurities, or unresolved issues may cause these individuals to mistreat you for no apparent reason, simply because your light exposes their darkness. No matter what you do, say, or offer, they may never accept or respect you. But remember, this is not a reflection of your worth. It's about their own internal battles. Understanding this will help you stay true to yourself and remain unaffected by their negativity. Reason 1. Your light reveals the shadows of others. When you are a chosen one, your presence in the world acts as an involuntary mirror for those around you, reflecting the inner conflicts and insecurities they prefer to keep hidden. This ability to reflect is not a conscious choice. It is a natural consequence of your authenticity and spiritual transparency. By living your truth and faithfully following your spiritual path, you unknowingly illuminate the shadows of others. You may unintentionally highlight areas where others feel they are failing or where they consider themselves insufficient. Imagine a scenario at work where your dedication and unwavering ethics naturally make you stand out. While some may admire and value your commitment, others may feel uncomfortable seeing the light you radiate. Your light not only shines, but also illuminates the shadows within these people, the insecurities, laziness, or lack of purpose they prefer not to face. Rather than confronting these internal issues, they may find it easier to direct their discomfort toward you, resorting to harassment and fueling hatred. This phenomenon is well illustrated in the biblical story of Joseph. As the chosen one, Joseph had gifts and dreams that made him stand out among his brothers. However, the light that emanated from him also reflected the deep insecurities and jealousies his brothers carried. Instead of facing these feelings, they directed their hatred toward Joseph, not because of anything he had done, but simply because his presence brought out the flaws and shadows they didn't want to acknowledge. In a spiritual context, it is believed that each person carries an inner light capable of illuminating not only their own shadows, but also those of others. When you, as a chosen one, live with integrity and a commitment to spiritual growth, you can inadvertently cause discomfort in people who are not yet ready to face or recognize their own inner dilemmas. They may feel challenged by your light because it reveals what they prefer to keep hidden. This can lead to feelings of resentment or even hatred because it's easier to attack the mirror than to confront the truth it reflects. Furthermore, this difference in levels of awareness and self-examination can create a perceived distance between you and those around you. For individuals who live in a more superficial or less examined way, your presence can feel like a silent judgment, amplifying their feelings of inadequacy or resentment. In this sense, chosen ones often become unwitting catalysts of emotional discomfort for others and are frequently misunderstood or rejected by those who are at odds with their own inner truths. Your mere existence, as a reflection of deeper understanding and authenticity, can make others painfully aware of the discrepancies in their own lives. This awareness may trigger a defensive reaction as they struggle to reconcile their internal conflicts with the truths you embody. Reason 2. You often challenge the established norm. Living authentically and true to your unique path often means challenging the established norm, which naturally causes discomfort in those who feel secure within the confines of the conventional. Your way of thinking, acting, and living doesn't align with the expectations of the majority, and this divergence can be perceived as a threat by those who prefer to follow a safer, more predictable path. Your willingness to question, innovate, and go against the grain challenges the status quo, attracting criticism and resistance as a result. Consider how in any environment, be it family, work, or society in general, people tend to follow unwritten rules, conforming to what is considered normal or acceptable. When you, as a chosen one, act independently and refuse to bend to these expectations, you may be seen as rebellious or as an affront to the established order. For example, in the workplace, while the majority may be content to follow the rules without question, you might constantly propose new ideas, seek better ways of doing things, or simply refuse to accept a system you consider unfair or ineffective. Those who prefer stability and are afraid of change may view your attitude as a direct challenge to their comfort zone. To them, your insistence on not conforming seems like a threat to the balance they cherish. Instead of being inspired by your courage, they may react with hostility, attempting to put you in your place or devalue your ideas to preserve the status quo. Your presence disrupts the predictability they cling to, causing them to resist rather than embrace the potential for growth and transformation that you represent. This pattern is reflected in the life of Jesus as described in the Bible. He constantly challenged the social and religious norms of his time, questioning established practices and advocating for a deeper, more meaningful connection with the divine. His teachings and actions threatened the established order, leading to resistance, misunderstanding, and ultimately persecution. Yet, his willingness to challenge the status quo left an indelible mark on history, inspiring countless others to seek truth and authenticity in their own lives. Jesus' challenge to the norms of his time inevitably brought him into conflict with the authorities and religious leaders. His actions and teachings directly opposed the established traditions, not because he sought to defy for the sake of rebellion, but because he exposed the rigidity and hypocrisy of those in power. Many came to hate him not because he was wrong, but because he illuminated the flaws in a system that had long been unquestioned. For instance, in the book of Matthew, the Pharisees criticized Jesus for healing on the Sabbath, a day deemed holy, during which no work was to be performed according to tradition. Jesus responded by challenging this rigid interpretation, arguing that doing good should have no restrictions. By doing so, he exposed the fallacy of rules that lacked compassion and underscored the importance of prioritizing humanity over blind adherence to tradition. Similarly, on your journey as a chosen one, you often challenge the established rules and norms. Like Jesus, you may face resistance and hostility. However, this same spirit of non-conformity is what propels you forward, allowing you to grow and align more closely with your true essence. Even though the resistance and hatred you face can be difficult, it's vital to remember that your role is to illuminate new paths, even if that means walking them alone at times. Reason 3, you are a reminder of what others lack. You carry a unique light and energy that naturally highlight your qualities and achievements, making you a point of reference, an example to be admired and followed. However, this same light can also provoke feelings of jealousy and inadequacy in others, especially those who are dissatisfied with their own lives or feel unable to achieve the same level of success or fulfillment. Imagine a scenario where you accomplish something significant, whether at work, in a personal project, or within your interpersonal relationships. In theory, your achievement should be celebrated by everyone around you, but this isn't always the case. Some people, instead of being inspired or motivated by your success, begin to feel increasingly uncomfortable. They compare what you've achieved with their own lives and, in doing so, feel inferior or incomplete. This comparison generates feelings of jealousy, which can quickly spiral into resentment and eventually hatred. This phenomenon is far from new. It's a recurring theme throughout history. In the Bible, for example, we see this dynamic play out in the story of Cain and Abel. Abel offered God the best of what he had, and God was pleased with his offering. Cain, on the other hand, offered something inferior, and when he saw that God favored Abel, he was consumed by jealousy. This feeling was so powerful that it drove Cain to commit the first recorded murder, taking the life of his own brother. Cain's problem wasn't really with Abel, but with himself, his inability to accept his own inadequacies, and his choice to direct his hatred toward the one who, in his view, had outshone him. In your life as a chosen one, you may experience similar situations. You stand out not because you're trying to outshine others, but because you're authentically following your path. Still, those who aren't comfortable with their own paths may see you as a reminder of what they lack or haven't yet achieved. Instead of using your example as inspiration to grow, they might choose to attack you out of resentment. It's essential to recognize that this behavior is more about their inner battles than it is about your actions or qualities. The discomfort they feel stems from an internal struggle with their own insecurities and the perceived gap between their lives and what they aspire to be. Reason 4. Your authenticity challenges. Their facade, being a chosen one, often means living a life that is true to your values, purpose, and higher calling. This commitment to authenticity is an integral part of your journey, but it can also serve as a stark contrast to those who lead lives built on pretenses or facades. For some, maintaining a false front is a coping mechanism, a way to navigate a world where they feel pressured to conform to certain roles or expectations. Your genuine approach to life inadvertently highlights their inauthenticity, making them feel exposed and uncomfortable. Consider a situation where you speak your truth in a group setting, expressing an opinion or sharing an insight that comes from a place of honesty and personal conviction. For those who are comfortable in their authenticity, this would be appreciated and respected. However, for others who may be masking their true feelings, desires, or beliefs, your openness can be deeply unsettling. Your honesty forces them to confront the reality of their own facades, which they may have worked hard to construct and maintain. This confrontation can trigger feelings of anger and resentment toward you, not because of what you've said, but because of what you represent, a challenge to the stability of their false identities. This dynamic can also manifest in relationships where one person is fully authentic and the other is hiding behind a mask of what they think is acceptable or expected. For instance, a friend might feel uncomfortable around you because your authentic expression of self highlights the parts of them that are not being truthful. They might find it hard to relax and be themselves because in your presence they feel as though they're living a lie. Over time, this discomfort can grow into resentment, leading them to distance themselves from you or even actively dislike you. In their minds, you are the source of their discomfort, when in reality, it's their own lack of authenticity that is causing the strain. It's crucial to recognize that these feelings of resentment are often a reflection of their internal struggles rather than a genuine dislike of you as a person. They might resent the fact that you have what they don't: freedom to be yourself, courage to speak your truth, and the strength to live in alignment with your values. Their resentment is a mirror of their desire to have that same freedom, but they may not yet be ready or willing to face what's necessary to achieve it. Understanding this can help you maintain compassion and empathy for them, even in the face of their hostility. Reason 5. You are not easily manipulated or controlled. Another reason people may harbor negative feelings toward you is that, as a chosen one, you are not easily manipulated or controlled. Your sense of self, purpose, and direction makes you immune to the tactics of those who seek to dominate or dictate the behavior of others. This quality can be both intimidating and frustrating to those who thrive on control and manipulation. In many social dynamics, there are individuals who attempt to control situations and people to satisfy their desires or maintain a certain order that benefits them. They might use subtle forms of manipulation, such as guilt-tripping, passive-aggressive behavior, or flattery to get what they want. However, as a chosen one, you are naturally resistant to such tactics. Your inner strength and self-awareness allow you to see through these manipulations, and you are unlikely to be swayed by them. For example, in a workplace environment, a colleague might try to manipulate you into doing their work or making decisions that benefit them. They might use flattery to appeal to your ego or create a sense of obligation by invoking guilt. However, because of your strong sense of self and integrity, you're able to see through their actions and stand your ground. This resistance can frustrate them and make you a target of their resentment. This resistance to manipulation is also a theme in many spiritual teachings and stories. In the Bible, Jesus resisted the temptations of Satan, who tried to manipulate him with promises of power and glory. Jesus' ability to see through these temptations and remain true to his mission and values is a testament to his inner strength and integrity. Similarly, as a chosen one, your ability to resist manipulation is a reflection of your spiritual maturity and alignment with your higher purpose. Being immune to manipulation can often lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. People may perceive your resistance as arrogance or defiance, failing to understand that it stems from a place of inner strength and self-awareness. This can lead to feelings of frustration and resentment, particularly among those who are accustomed to manipulating others to get their way. Reason 6. You are a source of unsolicited comparison. Finally, people may harbor negative feelings toward you because your presence naturally leads to comparison. When you are living authentically, pursuing your purpose and expressing your unique gifts, it can serve as a point of comparison for others. This comparison, while unsolicited, can create feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt in those who feel they do not measure up. This phenomenon can be seen in many areas of life. In social settings, for example, you might be someone who is naturally charismatic, kind, and compassionate. Others around you might begin to compare themselves to you, feeling that they lack these qualities or do not exhibit them as strongly. This comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy and insecurity, which may then be projected onto you as resentment or dislike. Similarly, in professional settings, your success and achievements can become a benchmark against which others measure their own progress. When others feel that they fall short of this benchmark, they may begin to feel envious or resentful. This is not because of anything you have done intentionally, but because your presence highlights areas where they feel they lack. In spiritual teachings, this is often referred to as the shadow of comparison. When people compare themselves to others, they are often only seeing a partial picture, the external success or qualities that are visible. They do not see the full journey, the struggles, or the personal growth that has taken place. As a chosen one, your journey is often filled with challenges, growth, and transformation, but others may only see the result of that journey and feel inadequate in comparison. Conclusion: if you find yourself in situations where people dislike you for no apparent reason, remember that this is often a reflection of their inner struggles rather than a reflection of your worth or value. As a chosen one, your light and authenticity naturally challenge the status quo, illuminate the shadows of others, and serve as a point of comparison. While this can lead to misunderstandings and negativity, it is also a testament to your unique gifts and the impact you have on the world. Remember to stay true to yourself, maintain your integrity, and continue to shine your light. The world needs more people like you who are willing to live authentically and challenge the norms. Your journey may not always be easy, but it is a vital one that inspires others to seek their truth and live more authentically. You are not alone on this journey. Many have walked this path before you, and many will walk it after you. Stay strong, keep shining, and remember that the negativity of others is often a reflection of their inner struggles rather than a reflection of your worth. Stay true to your path and continue to be a light in the world. Thank you for watching, and remember, always choose to be you.